types of eagles in North America. We have the bald eagle, we also have golden eagles. And bald eagles are native only to North America. You'll find them in the United States, in Canada, all the way up into Alaska. Golden eagles, however, are found in other places in the world, such as Mongolia, where they've used them for thousands of years for hunting. It's kind of a coming-of-age ceremony that a child goes and steals a golden eagle baby from a nest. Remember that 750 pounds of squeezing pressure? Talk about a coming-of-age ceremony.
Wow.
It's do or die. And you still might die if you do it, because they're very dangerous birds. But bald eagles are only found here in North America, which is one of the reasons that we selected them as our national symbol. That was actually a close race, and the turkey almost won. In fact, the bald eagle won by a single vote. Benjamin Franklin was very anti-bald eagle. He called them dishonorable creatures because they are known to steal food from other animals. Little trivia for you. Thomas Jefferson wanted the peace dove. If you know much about him, that probably doesn't surprise you. She came to us from Alaska, and bald eagles in Alaska, pretty much everything in Alaska is bigger than it is down south of Alaska. So the eagles are bigger, the food is bigger, and it's a lot colder up there, which is probably why things tend to be larger. She weighs, anybody, well, I've said it a lot today, so I'll just assume most of you know. She's about 10.5 pounds. Most people guess about 20 pounds or 25. If you think maybe about a turkey that you buy, it's about 25 pounds when you look at her chest. Well, she's got mostly hollow bones. She has about 10,000 feathers on her body, and she is simply designed for aerial hunting, for flying around hunting. So she's surprisingly lightweight. Now, bald eagles up in Alaska, they can sit up to 17 pounds, and that's an exceptionally large bald eagle. The only way that you can tell males from females in all birds of prey, the girls are bigger, and they're also more aggressive. And if you can think back to junior high, that's pretty much how it was for humans. The girls are so much bigger and more aggressive than the boys. Now I guess it's like that in 4th and 5th grade. But that's the case with raptors. The girls are larger and more aggressive. In Colorado, this is going to be about the standard size of a female bald eagle. She's a little on the small side. I should say that quieter for an Alaskan bald eagle. Now, that hood on her head is a device used with a lot of raptors. For thousands of years, people have used hoods in falconry to help calm birds down. It doesn't make much sense to a rational person that if you were really upset about something and someone came up and covered up your eyes, that you'd relax, because we know that whatever was stressing us out is still there. But think about when you were younger and you get really upset. A lot of times we simply cover our eyes because it does cut the visual stimulation down. And for a visually oriented animal, that's really going to help her calm down. Would you guys like to see her face? Can we talk a little bit about her eyes? So when a bald eagle hatches out of the nest, it's about this big. They're very small, very silly looking. They look like fuzzy little dinosaurs, and they're completely helpless. Mom and Dad will take turns guarding the nest and getting enough food to feed them. And they have to protect the nest from predators such as crows and ravens and great horned owls, which will actually come and throw the babies out of the nest or even downright eat the babies. And great horned owls are known to throw the babies out and then lay their own eggs and take over a bald eagle nest. They're actually pretty aggressive owls. So this bird, when she was 3.5 months old, she had probably been coming and going from the nest at that point. She was fully grown. She was as heavy as she'd ever be in her life. She took off flying. That was probably around July or August. Sometime during the winter, she was discovered outside Juneau, Alaska, and they found her on the floor in the forest floor, and she was so starved and so weak she could barely stand up. They didn't know what was wrong with her. Now, it's really obvious now that something's going on with her because you can see that she has one dark eye and one light eye. Well, when she was that age that she had her injury, she was brown and white speckled all over. She had a brown beak and 2 brown eyes. During the first year of their life, their eyes gradually turned yellow. And because of her injury, she probably flew into something when learning how to fly with a 6-foot wingspan, and the impact blinded her right eye. So she lost her depth perception, which was simply a death sentence for a bird that has to fly around pulling fish out of the water and fly between trees in the forest. So she, once they discovered she was blind, they needed to find a lifelong home for her. We've had her now. She's 4 years old. We've had her about 3 years. It took a lot to get her to sit calmly on the glove. She's not our pet. She doesn't let us touch her, pet her, cuddle her. And it just gives you a greater respect for them, knowing that they have that line that you can't cross. They're pretty remarkable creatures. Primarily they hunt fish, but they're also major scavengers. All right, let's bring in our killer falcon cat.
Do they have a sense of smell? I've heard that owls don't. That's why they can eat skunks.
Yeah,
You know?
that's true. An owl can get sprayed in the face, and it doesn't bother them. No, most raptors do not have a sense of smell. In fact, the only one that I know of that does is a turkey vulture, which technically now we're seeing with genetics that they're more closely related to storks than they are hawks and eagles and falcons. Turkey vultures can smell a carcass about 4 miles away.